Hello and welcome to the channel The Seated Scribe, where we discuss pens and writing. I am Rudrashish Dotto and today we shall unbox a Pilot Custom 74 with a medium nib and a clear transparent barrel. The video will have an unboxing, after which we will ink up the pen and then use the pen for writing samples on various writing conditions, and finally share a few tidbits on the pen and its use. So without any more delay, let us move on to the unboxing. Now we come to the actual unboxing of this pen. It is supplied in a cardboard box like this. Which has a Pilot logo at the top in gold, and this is the plastic box in which this pen is housed. We open this box to get a cloth, cleaning cloth. This has been supplied by the seller. This is the actual pen. There is a price sticker here which I keep in the side. And there is a warranty card, use and care guide, which is stamped by the seller. Now we keep this aside. There are no cartridges supplied in the box. Now we keep this aside and go to the pen. This pen is housed in a transparent plastic and the pen looks like this. There is a rounded semi-transparent finial at the top. This is the typical Pilot clip. It's fairly tough, possibly not spring loaded, and the barrel is see-through. This end of the finial too is rounded. The pen opens maybe in 2 full circles or maybe 1.5 circle, and this is the cap. This is how the cap looks like. And this is the pen. I had opted for a medium nib, so they have put in a sticker here of Pilot with the capital M. The nib of the pen is 14 karat gold with rhodium plating. We shall ink this up and see how it performs. There is a proprietary converter supplied with this pen. This is it. It typically has a pumping and vacuum action where we are required to place this in the ink pot and keep pressing this part till this section of the converter gets filled with ink. We shall do the inking part a bit later. Now the most important gripping section of the pen, this section slightly tapers down and then slightly flares up, giving this look a typical concave look where we usually house our fingers when we are writing. And once we screw this up, we find that the barrel slightly flares and then slightly again tapers down to this point to give this pen a typical classical cigar shape. So this is how the pen stands. Let me see how much it weighs without the ink. Okay, it weighs a comfortable 22 grams without ink, and the writing section weighs 15 grams. So let's keep this aside. Now we ink this pen up with, well, my favorite, it is Waterman Mysterious Blue. And while inking, we will be seeing how the Con 70 converter functions. Pilot recommends that we are to keep the pen in a typically vertical position while filling this Con 70 type converters. So the nib is down. Let us see how it feels. So it more or less fills with 8 pumping action. Let's wipe out this part. The pen is now inked up and we are ready to go for a writing sample. Well, having inked this pen up, let me now take a writing sample. I would prefer a full sentence writing. So this is how the sentence goes. It's a fairly wet writer. It's a fairly wet writer. Let me test the upstrokes. The upstrokes are slightly on the finer side. The slant strokes too are a bit finer. somewhere between the downstrokes and the upstrokes. By the way, the nib is fairly stiff and it won't therefore allow for extraordinary thickness variations of the calligraphy type. It's a fairly wet writer. The horizontal strokes are thick, the vertical downstrokes are thick, but the upstrokes and the slanting upstrokes are a bit finer. The pen is very comfortable to hold. Now I am writing on a 100 GSM paper, which is fountain pen friendly. Now let me move to a paper which is perhaps more common to our daily work, maybe a 60 or a 65 GSM paper, and see how the ink, if at all, bleeds through the page. Let me see how. So this is it. There are finer areas where the ink has bled through the page, but otherwise the writing looks pretty fine. Yes, the downstrokes are wetter and therefore it will take time to dry up compared to the upstrokes. Well, the sensation is pretty tough at the point where the nib meets the paper. It's not a flex type nib. It's fairly tough. Yes. So this is all about the writing sample. It's a very convenient writer. The seated scribe. Maybe it takes 5 to 7 seconds to dry up completely. So this is the writing sample for you. Okay, now having completed a writing sample, I shall deal with a few tidbits and potential queries which users or potential users may have with this pen. The first point is that this pen posts and posts very securely. So for those of us who may have this habit of writing with posted pens, this pen posts very securely. But with the two other custom 74s that I have been using for the past couple of years with different colored barrels, I have found that writing the pen posted tends to shift the balance of the pen away from the nib, and that may be uncomfortable for a few, including myself. In any case, this is a fairly large sized pen with a medium grip like mine. I still have well over an inch of space around this point, which might be sufficient for people with even large grips. So this is one issue that I thought of sharing with you. The other issue deals with the band on this cap. Now, the band on this cap protrudes around a millimeter outside the level of the barrel, and as I have found with the two other custom 74s that I have been using, two sections of the band, one is this section, the other is this section, they tend to develop micro scratches with use, simply because we tend to rest the pen either in this direction or the other one. So in both these two areas there would be micro scratches. This is perhaps unavoidable, but the best way forward is perhaps to use a pen sleeve of whatever make in order to retain the pristine condition of this band, because this band is otherwise very, very attractive to see. Now the other thing is that when full length, this pen is very, very balanced, and for a person who would not wish to write with a greater than necessary pressure on the nib, this is an ideal writer. And the other thing is that the body of the pen, both the cap and the barrel, they are predominantly plastic, or to use fountain pen terminology, they are proprietary resin. Well, I have no idea how the pen or the barrel will hold if it suffers an accidental fall, but I would recommend, as I have said a few moments earlier, to keep the pen in a pen sleeve to keep its condition new for a longer time. And now finally, we will take an impression of the length of this pen vis-a-vis the other pens that we usually use. So I am keeping this pen here. This is just to get a visual impression of the length. Well, this is a very popular pen, a ballpoint pen obviously. This side is the reference point, so it's this. Then we take the Pilot Metropolitan. There may be a couple of millimeters here and there, but roughly it's this. This is another popular pen that we use, the Pilot V7 high-tech point. And this is the Mont Blanc Classic. So roughly this is it. Among the fountain pens here, clearly the Pilot Custom 74 exceeds the length of both the Metropolitan and the Mobla by a couple of millimeters. So it's a big pen. It's a big pen. But nevertheless, it's very light and is a delight to write from the experience that I have had with my custom 74s in the last 2 years. So these are the tidbits that I wish to share with you. So with this, we come to an end of the unboxing and review of the Pilot Custom 74 with a medium nib and a clear transparent barrel. Next Sunday, we shall be back with another review. Friends, you are welcome to share this to others who may find it useful, and please feel free to post your queries, observations and suggestions in the comment section. Thank you. Have a nice time. Goodbye.